Are you ready, Mitch?
Aye, aye, Captain.
I can't hear you.
Aye, aye. Did it go?
I was like, I know I pressed it. Do the thing. Hello, and welcome to Entertain This. It's a podcast about movies, TV shows, and video games. My name's Tom. With me, I got
Mitch.
and you, the listener.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yes.
As we go through our top 9 list of fighting for freedom games.
Yes.
Games where you fight for some sort of freedom. Now, I was a little diverse and wild on some of these, but I wanted to make sure these were ones that I played. But before we get into that, social media, Mitch, well,
you can go to entertainthispodcast.com. We'll take you to our Facebook group and page. You also go to our Entertain This Facebook or Twitter.
Oh, you're doing so good.
Also go to all right, well, now that we're down to this, we'll just stop using the voice. You also go to our X/Twitter, which is @thisentertain, our Instagram, which is entertain.this, or our YouTube and TikTok, which is entertain this !
I liked your, you went from Mitch to Mitchell,
Yes, I know.
your NPR voice.
Yes, well, when you have a cold, it helps you have a little deeper voice.
Yes, quite. Indubitably. Indeed.
So.
Hayden will be doing his Alan Rickman. Meh. We miss you, Hayden.
Yeah.
Although it is nice not having to look over to my right. I can just look straight ahead. I don't have to turn my neck.
If it isn't a consolation, we did hear from him. We heard from him in voice mode.
In voice mode?
Yes, in voice mode.
We heard him.
About things we can't discuss here, but we did hear from him.
We did hear him.
We know he's
we heard
alive.
his voice.
He's alive. I didn't hear bombs going off in the background. So
or screaming.
he seems okay.
He sounded like he was okay.
A little annoyed, but okay.
I know. He's very upset with the direction this podcast has taken in his absence. That this has now become the Tom and Mitch Power Hour. And we're basically just running around doing whatever we want.
Yeah.
Talking about whatever we want.
What can he do?
But we're having great analytics.
Yes.
That's the important thing.
That's all that matters. Doesn't matter how we're having great analytics or why, but we are.
Let's not get bogged down on who did what. But let's talk about video games where you have to fight for some sort of freedom.
Now, I'll preface this and say that I didn't choose games like Call of Duty, where you're literally fighting as a soldier.
I was good. I only picked one of them.
Mine are a little more niche in the fighting front. I mean, some of them are like you're a soldier doing stuff, but it's different games. I kind of avoided Call of Duty just because we talk about it so much anyways.
I picked one Call of Duty.
Okay.
Just to give it its presence.
Well, since I have 10 and you have 9, I'm going to go first with my number 10.
I think you should.
God of War. He's literally fighting for his freedom from the gods.
Yeah,
because
you know what?
That's kind of how I went with my list. So just
I did keep this down though for mine. These were games I have played.
I played God of War. I played the original ones. I haven't played the more newer ones. Hayden's played those, but like in the original ones, he becomes like a slave to the gods essentially, and he has to fight for his freedom from them by killing them and taking their powers.
Yeah, he kills Ares, becomes the new god of war, gets betrayed, and then decides, all right, and let me kill all of you then.
Right.
And then systematically kills all the Greek gods, and then ends up in Norway, runs afoul with the Norse gods, and just goes like, I guess I'm coming out of retirement.
Gotta kill them now.
It's like, I swear I've heard this song before.
But yeah, I mean, for my number 10, I picked God of War because he literally has to free himself from the gods, and he kills all of them to keep them from, subjugating all the other people as well. So
That's a solid choice.
So I said, mine are a little more niche because they're not just straight up like war or something like that. Most of them.
I kind of kept mine like
well, I'd say they're not
smaller scale, large scale, huge scale.
Yeah. Okay.
So my number 9 is Delta Force Black Hawk Down.
I've not played that.
PlayStation 2 game about the Black Hawk Down movie. The game was awesome.
Okay. Yeah, tell me about it. I've never played that.
I mean, there's a lot. It's more about the historical events of the invasion of Mogadishu. Or, well, the invasion, it's the UN respawns into Somalia in the early 90s, in like 1993.
Okay.
So you start the game, you're a ranger, you go on a bunch of these missions, you're doing really well, and then you get tabbed to go to Delta, and then start doing cool stuff. And then obviously the last couple missions of the game is basically it's Black Hawk Down.
Okay.
So the scale of fighting for freedom is removing obviously the oppressive warlord regime that reigned over Somalia.
Okay.
I can't remember the guy's name. It's like Al Farrar or whatever.
Sure, we'll go with that.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've seen the movie or read about it. But that was one I picked because this is it's a smaller scale fight for, I guess, freedom. You could say.
Okay.
And honestly, it's a game I actually played and beat multiple times.
Okay.
Because I just had so much fun with that game. It was on PlayStation 2 back in the day.
I'll go for that. My number 9 is Ghost Recon Wildlands, where you're fighting basically to repel the cartel. Like, I can't remember in Ghost Recon if you're... I know you're American military, but I can't remember if it's the whole mission.
Like some Sicario kind of deal where you're
yeah, but you're...
CIA kind of guys.
Basically, you're trying to get rid of the cartel from controlling this land or whatever. But it's it's a game that... It was a lot of fun to play. Me, Hayden, and one of our friends, Booker, who's been on the podcast once, the early first year. But you know who.
Yeah.
But the three of us would play it when we were all working together. And we would play missions, and it's supposed to be covert, and we're just crashing through the front gate with
Whoa! Stealth optional.
But I do remember that there was one what you do is basically take over different. It's almost like counties because the way they're broken up, they look like a county based on a state map. But basically, you take over different areas and you free them. But if you don't continue doing small missions in that area, it can be reinvaded. So you're kind of expanding your territory. So you're having to fight break those territories free from the oppressor of the cartel. Which is kind of neat because once you beat the boss of that area, it stays free unless you just completely ignore the area completely. But I do remember there was a couple of times where we would just we were seeing how far we could shoot. So we would go out to the Salt Plains desert area, and we were backing up, and we would just take a bad guy hostage because you could actually grab them and hold them in front of you while you shoot. Well, we would take one, and we'd drive as far as we could away, get him out of the truck, and then we would hold him there. And one of us would be, as far as we could see with the sniper rifle, laid on top of another truck. And we'd hold him there and see if we could hit him. Because there was no friendly fire. So we would just hold him still, and we got to the point where he didn't register on the screen from the even with the sniper scope. But the bullets would still hit. We'd be like, all right, take a step to the left. So
up 10, left 5.
Yeah. Well, pretty much our guy, the guy holding him hostage was 2 steps to the left. We'd shoot again.
That sounds awesome.
It was fun, and it was kind of like GTA where if you did so much, your star level would go up, and the military would end up showing up because
try to come kill you.
Because you caused too much problems, yeah. But then eventually, if you have the right guns, you can just fight off military and take their stuff.
It's I want this now. This is mine.
Well, they came in and landed with a helicopter, a whole bunch of SWAT dude looking things. So we killed all them and took the helicopter. But it's a fun game. And it's just a big open world where you can go around and you change your guy to look like you could look like Joe Schmo the operator, or you could look like serious Rainbow Six operators, depending on what you want to wear. It was cool because you could completely customize your character and your guns and your attachments and all that. If Call of Duty would make that much customization for characters, that'd be pretty cool. I'm just saying.
They're not going to.
I know.
They want you to buy stuff.
Yeah, I know. But that was a fun game. That was my number 9.
My number 8 is Socom II, U.S. Navy SEALs.
And that was for PlayStation 2,
That was PlayStation 2. That was one of their greatest hits games. That game was huge.
If I remember, that was one of the early,
tactical,
multiplayer. Yeah, you could wear the headset and tell them what to do. Yeah, that's pretty cool. My cousin had that. I never got to play it.
We'll be right back.
Ever wondered what a rhythm-based stealth game with dinosaurs might look like? Or a farming sim in space with zombies? Welcome to the Gaming Blender podcast. I'm Matt, and with my co-host Scott, we take a random game genre and random game mechanics, blend them all up, and pitch wild, totally hypothetical games you've never heard of, and maybe shouldn't. New episodes every other week. Hit play and unleash your inner game dev. No coding required. Search the Gaming Blender on your favorite podcast app now.
I had it for a while, and I remember like I played it, and like I would do like the first couple missions, and then I get bored, or like I'd die, and like I couldn't. I was young when I was playing it, so I didn't really like get it yet.
Yeah,
and I came back to it like a year or two later when I was a little older, and I just started running through the game, and I was like, "Oh, this game's freaking good!" And I'm just like murking dudes. I got the M14 all kitted out. I'm just popping corners, blowing dudes' heads off, and I'm like, "Yeah, America, high five,
America." Okay.
I mean, it's your standard, you're playing as like a SEAL team, and, you're obviously chasing after, unswarthy people, unsavory characters.
Yeah.
Who, of course, get their hands on, plutonium. Yeah. As they do. And you got to track them down. You got to fight them. You got to wipe out all the guards, recover stuff. And it's like, oh, well, this happened too. And then you got to go over there and go do that. And you got to go over there. And then Russia.
Russia. It's like the guy from the Aliens.
Russia.
If it's a military game, Russia.
So then you got to go and fight. I mean, the combat system was really good. It was third person. You had a lot of fun. It was a lot of stuff like you had to be able to do with the D-pad as far as like coordinating the three other guys.
Okay.
And you could switch into each one of them. Like you could kit everybody and you could switch into guys.
Yeah.
So like if you were playing as one dude and you went down, you can switch to the next guy and you can control him and move around.
Yeah.
And then you can, coordinate where guys need to go and what they need to do.
Okay.
So it was a very elaborate game.
It was one of those where you had the headset and you could tell them like, hey,
yeah, this is like one of the
left.
first
Okay.
games that actually had that.
That's pretty cool.
I think it was the first one.
As far as I know, I think it was.
Yeah.
At least, like I said, for PlayStation 2 and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it was a huge success game for PlayStation 2 at the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, that it for that, Chad?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my number 8, Assassin's Creed 3.
I had that way up at number 1 just because, we're still in July in America.
I wasn't sure if you'd have Assassin's Creed on there for these or not, but I just thought
It's the American Revolution. It doesn't get more freedom than that for us, does it?
Assassin's Creed 3, because you're literally fighting the redcoats. You're just like running from bunker to bunker, trying to avoid shots.
You're doing like the Patriot with your tomahawk and your knife or whatever. It's just like this Mel Gibsoning your way through the whole game.
But yeah, I mean that game's a lot of fun. I'll save it. We'll talk a little bit more when it gets to your turn. But yeah, I definitely had that on there.
Nice.
Just because it's Assassin's Creed, which it's in the Revolution, so it's pretty cool fighting redcoats in the woods.
It was pretty fun. It was pretty awesome. Like I remember the trailer.
Yeah,
and you got to George Washington.
Uh-huh.
And then like they see like they reverse and like they charge it, and then it's just like America. It's like America Assassin's Creed. And everybody's just like, yeah.
All right, we'll go on to your next one, and we'll talk more about that one.
Far Cry 5.
I've never played any of the Far Cry games.
This is the first one I played.
Okay.
This was also the last one I played.
So what is the objective of Far Cry? I've never played.
I have no clue. Because each one they're not. I don't think they're linear.
Oh, okay.
This is each one is its own.
Gotcha.
It's like in its own episode of whatever. So like this is like in the Midwest. There's like a town that's isolated or a county. Mm-hmm. Like you're a deputy, and then like this like cult guy is running the show now.
Okay.
In this town. Then they're pretty much just cut off from like the rest of the world. And he's like a messiah kind of guy.
Okay.
And he's got like his family who are like one's like producing drugs and like they're being conditioned, and the other one's like doing propaganda, and it's all stuff. So like the townspeople basically get enslaved to this dude.
Yeah.
And like, full tilt with them. And then like you become sort of enslaved, then you break it, but then they play like a song. And then like you just go rampage mode and you're just running through with a shotgun and a knife, just killing dudes left and right. And it was pretty good for like the first Far Cry game I ever played. I think it had good reviews.
Okay.
As far as I remember. And then I beat, like you have sections like that are controlled by a family member. And then obviously as you progress through the game, you take a section, you fight somebody, you do a bunch of missions, meet all these NPCs, do a bunch of stuff, and then you control that part of territory. To eventually it's the last guy, like the main dude.
And that's kind of what Wildlands was similar to.
Yeah, and there's like dual endings. There's a third hidden ending where you can just choose to do nothing.
Okay.
At the very beginning of the game, like that you just don't know that you can do. So there's a lot to it.
Oh, and I was just thinking, I mean, going back to Wildlands, they did have a DLC where you had to fight Predator.
That's scary.
Like you're in the South American.
That's not
jungle.
fighting for freedom. That's just fighting for your life.
They had a game mode where you fought Predator. Like you had to track down these different like clues through different parts, and then you have to venture into the jungle, and you and the other 3 operators have to fight the invisible. Like he's invisible. You can see like the outline, and you got to fight him. And we never could beat him.
Didn't we play that?
We might have. I can't remember if you played.
We played some Predator thing.
You might have played with us. I can't remember if you did or not. But
it sounds familiar.
It was difficult. We never beat him.
I think that was around the time when like Hayden claimed me as a friend.
He's like, you join us.
You are now my friend. Here's your decoder rig.
Anyways, continue on with Far Cry.
I mean, it's freedom on I guess a small scale is like a county, and you're just like a deputy.
Okay.
Going through, but then there's like a lot of stuff going on, like where he's like prophesizing like apocalypse. So there's certain parts of the game where like missiles are going off.
Okay.
Like at the very end, and it's like, was this dude right the entire time, or like did we f all this up? Like there's a lot of interpretation, and there's multiple endings for the game, but it was
depending on what you've done through it.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't even think I beat it all the way. I think I got like 80% of the way through it, and then some other game came out that we wanted to play.
Okay.
Because I don't think you played Far Cry 5.
I never played any of them.
If Hayden was playing it too.
It must have been him.
I don't remember when it came out.
Like I said, I've never played any of the Far Cry games.
So what's your next one?
My next one is Homefront. Did you ever play that?
I didn't play Homefront, but I figured like that would be on this list. Homefront, and there's a game called like Freedom Fighters.
Yeah, I've never played Freedom Fighters. I didn't look into that, but Homefront to me, it was really cool. It was basically like Red Dawn.
Yeah,
like
we're invaded by like North Korea.
They do some. I think they end up making it China in this one, and basically the West. I don't want to say it's the West Coast is hit by an EMP, and something happens, and they're cut off, like to where they can't just have reinforcements past the Rockies or whatever. So the West Coast is basically having to fight it out with China, and you're fighting like literally like suburb to suburb, which was actually really cool. It was a fun game to play, and but like it was kind of open world. Like you had a path that you needed to go, but you could choose how to get there throughout the subdivision and all that kind of stuff. So it was a fun game, and like I said, it like you weren't soldiers; you were people that were just had guns, and you met up.
On the West Coast?
Well, you met up with other people that were soldiers, and like they were like happened to be home or whatever when it all went down, because basically it's like the U.S. forces were just taken out by surprise, and then it's all just like tough people that were still alive going from house to house.
Tough people.
I mean, that's just what it was.
Hey, all them sissy people is like you're not when
Because,
push
like,
comes to shove.
Well, like, because the whole story, like, you're talking, and they're trying to figure out how to, to fight a military force throughout the story, which is pretty cool. And, your guns aren't to the same level as the others, so you kind of have to be more tactical with what you're doing, because they've got fully automatic weapons, and the only way you can get one is by killing them and taking it. Yeah. And then it had the multiplayer, just like Call of Duty and all of them have, which was actually pretty fun, because it was all basically like, you're in the middle of downtown on top of a Burger King fighting, guys, or you're like in the suburbs, just like in a
the ice cream machine's broken, and you shoot somebody through the drive-through window.
Well, like the one of the maps was basically just like a suburb subdivision, and you're climbing on roofs, you're shooting through the second story window out of this kid's bunk bed room. You're just fighting back and forth.
Dang, I kind of wish I played that.
It was interesting. It was fun because it was like you're fighting on U.S. soil, just back and forth. So it was a fun game. I enjoyed it. It didn't do very well, especially when it came out with the second one, because it basically just did the same stuff and didn't improve anything. And it was like 6 years later, and they just didn't change anything. So the franchise kind of died. But the first one was fun.
I remember seeing like the first one, and then it was just kind of like and then it was like, all right.
Yeah, because the first one was on 360, and the second one was on Xbox One, and they just pretty much didn't change anything, didn't upgrade graphics, nothing.
Wasted dang money.
Yeah. So, anyways, continue on.
Call of Duty. World at War.
World at War. I understand that the World War II.
The ultimate fight for freedom, the fight against the Empire of Japan and Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
And slugging it out with the Nazis and the Japanese.
I understand that, and that's kind of along the lines I had Battlefield 1 and was it 5 was
5 was World War II. Battlefield 1 was World War 1.
Yeah, those two were my next. Like I put them both together, but those were my next ones just because of the World War kind of front.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I picked World at War just because it's Call of Duty's best World War II game.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Call of Duty 1, 2, 3, Call of Duty 2, the Big Red 1, all take place during World War II. And then you jump into Modern Warfare, and then basically this game was Modern Warfare back into World War II.
Yeah.
With, dudes like heads are getting blown off with shotguns, dudes getting lit on fire. Like, it wasn't like the vanilla, like, dude just gets shot, and you see a little, of like white smoke, and they just go, and eat it. Like, this was, like, it was getting real. Yeah. And, like, the game, like, there was some horror moments in that game, like with just like the music, the tone, like fighting your way through Stalingrad. Yeah. Like you're just Molotoving, surrendering Germans. Japanese are bonsai charging you through the grass, and there's flamethrowers coming out of nowhere, and you're just like, oh my god.
Well, and the reason I'll just go ahead and talk about mine at the same time because it's World War II. But the reason I chose Battlefield 1 and 5 was because with those games it is a lot more back and forth because of the way the Battlefield games are. You have to push forward for objectives to take forward, and the game will just keep going until somebody controls.
Well, they cut the time limit.
Yeah, but
because that was front lines.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying
the game mode in Battlefield 1 that game could last 2 hours.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The game does kind of push forwards and backwards depending on who's taking over what. But that's why I picked those games as well. So for the next one,
Battlefield 1 was such a great game.
It was a lot of fun.
The campaign wasn't really anything. The campaign was like, no, we're playing for this for the multiplayer.
Yeah, I never played the campaign.
And even the campaign, like the multiplayer graphics.
Oh yeah,
still are beautiful. Like, and I'm like, how come Call of Duty can't look that good?
It was nice that all the guns were balanced enough to where I didn't feel like there was one gun that was.
Oh, there was originally. I can't remember. There was like the Hell Regal.
Yeah.
SMG that had like a 60 round mag. That thing was off the chain when that game came out.
I mean, you can still get sniped one shot out of
I got really good at headshotting dudes with this pump action slug shotgun. And I remember like me, Pez, Garmin, Meerholtz, like all of us would play. And like I was the shotgun guy, and Meerholtz was our medic. Medic! Like he had more points than all of us combined, just rezzing us. Like, because we would all dogpile into an objective like flag, and I'm just dropping dudes with a shotgun. Garmin's shooting dudes. Pez is running around screaming. And he's just like, they're everywhere, and he's just getting lit up. And then Meerholtz just laying down like in a corner. He would see one of us go down. He'd just run and just.
That throwing out med packs.
He's just yeeting med packs. I think Garmin was like a heavy, so he's just yeeting ammo. There'd be like a tank would come through, and I was the assault guy, so I had like the recoilless and like the big grenades. Yeah. So I just started yeeting all the grenades, and it was like, and like we're just like holding it down. It's like Saving Private Ryan at the bridge, and like, we would just be going nuts, and we would play that for hours. It was so much fun.
All right, well, moving on from Battlefield 1, 5, and then Call of Duty World at War. What was your next one?
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Because you're fighting for freedom from the Sith Empire.
Okay. Well, then I'll kind of include mine, and we'll talk about it at the same time. I chose Star Wars Battlefront.
I was thinking Battlefront.
That was my next one on the list. So,
I went with Knights of the Republic just because it's more, I mean, it's a really good game, but there's also, like, it's a very big scope. And this is before Battlefront. Like, this was kind of like, you're going to multiple planets and like trying to stop basically the Sith from taking back over the galaxy because they've already seized like half of it.
Right.
So I mean, it's a big fight. It's a galactic scale fight for freedom.
And I picked Battlefront just because it's you're fighting to liberate these planets. Stay, keep the Sith or the droids away, depending on
which Battlefront. The new ones or the original two?
I just said Star Wars Battlefront, the series. I mean, the newer ones feel more like Battlefield.
Yeah.
But the old ones, it felt like you were fighting a planet because there was a lot more ships and stuff, I feel like, in the
because the second one, that was the best one because you would be fighting in space, and if you flew with the planet, you landed on the planet.
Right.
It cutscenes you like real quick into a transition. You were landing, and then you could just get out and just start slugging it out with droids or stormtroopers or rebels or whatever you wanted to do. You were taking over the galaxy or you were liberating it, whatever you wanted to do.
Yeah, I remember that one playing. Was it PlayStation or Xbox?
I had the first one I had on PlayStation 2.
Okay.
I remember that was the first game I ever pre-ordered.
Okay.
Because, I mean, that game was wild. I remember, like, the planets, like, and as it, like, would zoom in, and then, like, the mission would start.
Yeah.
And then the second one, like that campaign was really good because it was like the stormtrooper narrations with like the guy who plays Jango Fett in the Clones.
Tamira Morrison? Or
Yeah, he was like the narrator.
Okay.
For like the diaries, like the clones as they're going through the Clone Wars.
That's pretty cool.
So that was really cool. And then the space battles were awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I did like the transition where you could fight and you could fly up into space, and those were really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, but with Knights of the Old Republic, I don't know as much about that as I probably should. But so why'd you choose that one?
It's a galactic scale fight for freedom because this is the Old Republic. This isn't the Empire who did seize the entire galaxy.
Yeah.
This is the Sith who like came out of nowhere, like from deep space, and basically just reconquisted their way through the galaxy with Darth Revan and Darth Malak.
Okay.
And then Revan or Malak betrays Revan, thinks he kills him. The Jedi take Revan, who used to be a Jedi, mind wipe him, and basically reteach him how to be a Jedi Knight. Okay. And then you go and fight your way because the thing of the game is to find the Starforge, which is like a dark force, energy mass production weapon that basically you just give it the materials and it consumes stars or like a star for power. And it just produces whatever you want on obnoxiously masculine, like capital ships, whatever you want. It's just like churning it out, like Ford turning out Model Ts. It's like, I need a whole fleet of battle cruisers. Give me 20 minutes.
Okay. All right. Well, what's your next one?
Ace Combat 4.
I didn't think about those. So why Ace Combat?
Because that was the first one I played. I mean, obviously, Ace Combat 1 and 2, like, it was just kind of like,
I remember playing those games. I just didn't think about them for freedom fighting kind of stuff.
So Ace Combat 4, just because it has a good story where it's being told as like, whatever the continent is, rival, it's like Eurasia or whatever it is, like before they attacked, like there was a huge threat, like asteroids were going to like impact the planet. So like all of like the nations like teamed up, built this like super weapon called Stonehenge.
Okay.
This gigantic intercontinental like railgun system of multiple cannons that basically will shoot asteroids out of space.
Shows how far away I've been in Ace Combat. I remember playing the originals where it was just jet versus jets.
Yeah, so they build that crap. The evil Eurasia people basically launch a surprise attack, capture Stonehenge because they can shoot it continentally.
Okay.
And basically drive all like the coalition force that you fly for out of the continent to like an island. And it's like you guys are like on the last the last thread.
Okay.
And you come up as a fighter jet pilot, stop, the first attack, and then there's like a bombing run that's going to come through and destroy a bunch of stuff, so you intercept them, take them down, and then you start doing missions and working your way across the continent, and then eventually you go and fight Stonehenge.
Okay. Or
you have a mission. I mean, that's like the coolest mission because you have to like drop to the deck because you're watching these things like going flying over you, the rounds. And like planes are exploding because of the shockwaves if they weren't low enough.
That's pretty cool.
So then you have to go against like Yellow Squadron, which is like their elite, fighter squadron. And all this is being told like a narrative of a little kid.
Why?
So he's not like narrating the whole thing, but like the cutscenes between missions is like the story of like how like he lived in a place and he was watching a Yellow Squadron fighter fighting some other fighter and he downs him. And he's like, and he crashed like into his house.
Okay.
Like he killed his whole family.
Yeah.
So he gets taken up. The occupation forces come through. So you see, it's like he ends up tagging along with them, with the Yellow Squadron guys, and just basically living the war through a child's innocence eyes.
Okay.
As you're flying, blowing stuff up. Yeah. And then it cuts to him and like they moved here. Rations are getting short. So it's like it gives you a scale and depth of of a conflict.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's interesting because I hadn't played the Ace Combat probably since Ace Combat 2 at the most.
Mm-hmm.
So
I really wish they'd remaster Ace Combat 4.
But anyways, moving on to my next one, I have Gears of War because they're basically just trying to survive
from the
Locusts, yeah. And then especially with the E-Day coming out, where it's like the
Earth Day,
the quiet day or the quiet one's day one or whatever. Mm-hmm. This is E-Day, the first day the Locusts just show up. Mm-hmm. It's going to be coming out. But Gears of War, because you're like the last beacon of hope for for humanity, as these underground dwellers that just showed up have wreaked havoc on humanity.
The first one was so cool.
Yeah.
Because like there was nothing going on like that in video games.
Right.
And you can, like, the blood, the gore, you're chainsawing dudes in half.
And then, like, I guess the gameplay ability where you're running at that time, there wasn't a whole lot where you run from cover to cover like that.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. And definitely the chainsaw gun.
Or like the krill, like you couldn't fight at night.
Right.
Because you get annihilated.
Yeah, you had to stay in the spotlight. Uh-huh. That'd be fun. I'm interested to see how E-Day is. I mean, I'd be interested in playing it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
a worthy addition to your list.
All right, what's your next one?
Halo 2.
My next one is Halo Reach and ODST. So I will include that in the conversation.
I figured, like, because I was like, well, Halo 2. And I was like, Halo 1, you find Halo, you land on Halo, you figure out what Halo's for.
Yeah.
So you blow up Halo. Halo 2 starts, awards ceremonies, good job, Chief, promotions, high fives, Covenant come out of slip space. And it's like, they're going after Earth.
Yeah.
So then you have to go and fight on Earth to free the planet from the Covenant. And then you have to come back and kick the Covenant off Earth again. And you got to come back and kick the Flood off of Earth, or kill all the Flood before they destroy the entire planet.
Well, I chose Halo Reach and ODST because they kind of happen at the same time, except for you're getting two different points of view. But I mean, you're essentially you don't even get to be Master Chief. You're just Spartans. All this stuff's happening. And
Halo Reach happens, then Halo 1 happens, and then Halo 2 and ODST happen like at the same time.
Right. But I mean, basically, you're having to defend the Earth as it's being invaded for like the first time, essentially.
Yeah.
So I thought I included those just 'cause I thought it was cool.
Because like even like the lore of the game, where like after Reach, obviously Cortana, the Chief, the whatever, they make it onto the Pillar of Autumn, and they were gonna go back to Earth to escape, but they have the thing called like the Cole Protocol, where basically no one knows where Earth is. I mean, senior commanders know how to get back.
Yeah.
They all know where it is, but they're not allowed to go if they're around an enemy force.
Okay.
So they'll just do a random jump and keep jumping until they get away from everybody.
Yeah.
Then you can go back because they want the Covenant to figure out where Earth was, and then eventually they figured it out.
I mean, I liked Reach because you got to.
I didn't play Reach.
You didn't play Reach?
No, I didn't play Reach. I played ODST.
You really should play Reach.
My brother had ODST. Me and him played and beat it on like Legendary or whatever on co-op.
ODST is a lot of fun, but Reach is pretty cool because you get the point of view from these different different Spartans that, spoiler, they each have their own last mission. Yeah, and it's really cool because like they don't go out with a whimper. They all have their own last mission. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Especially when you're doing like the sniper guys missions, and then you have the guy with the basically the minigun. His missions are pretty cool. But then I had ODST because it was a different take because you couldn't just fight an enemy. You had to be strategic on what you did because you're human.
You're not the Chief.
And then you had the live action commercials.
Those were really cool.
Those were awesome.
If they made the Halo show look like that, it probably would have did good.
Exactly.
Like we could have did this in 2006.
You could have a whole Halo ODST TV show, and I would watch it because because
it made it look like the Chief, because the Chief I think was in a couple or one of them.
Yeah,
but he was like a mythical figure to them. They were all like, "Oh my god, it's him!" And you just see like the scale of how big he is compared to normal people.
Yeah. Let's see.
Like the Chief's like what, 8 feet tall or something like that, or like 7 foot something.
Trying to find the guy that's on here that I'm friends with on Twitter through our stuff, but I forgot his last name's Ford, but he's actually trying to make an ODST TV show. He's been working on it. He's trying to get it approved, but it's not the Ford that's been on our podcast, but it's another guy named Ford he's been on like Teen Wolf and stuff like that. He's trying to actually make a Halo ODST TV show. So I'm hoping it gets approved. He's shown like short, quote unquote, trailers of stuff he's worked on. It'd be really cool to see. So
I'd watch that. Definitely more than the actual Halo show.
Yeah, the actual Halo show is kind of boring.
The Halo show sucks.
Yeah, sad.
And it's like, why does the Chief not have a helmet on?
Well, I mean, the last season, the Chief barely even wore the armor, much less the helmet.
Like, everybody knows the armor.
Yeah,
it's the Chief.
Yeah. It's disappointing.
The reason they didn't they wrote he does not take the helmet, doesn't expose who it is. It's like, yeah, he's got a name and a number, but like even that, it's just like you play the game like you could be that guy.
Right.
That's the point.
Yeah.
It's just armor. It could be you in it, But obviously you're playing that guy. But the Master Chief.
Instead, I forgot it's the Tonto guy. What's his name from 13 Hours? That plays Master Chief.
Oh,
I forgot his actual name.
yeah, he doesn't. Yeah.
I mean, if he would leave the armor and the helmet on, it'd be cool. But I mean, he's a good actor and everything, but it takes you out of the element of the game.
I mean, that show to Halo is what like the Rings of Power was to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Which also apparently released a trailer. I haven't seen it yet because I don't want to see it. But anyway, my next one, Destiny.
I thought about including that, and I wasn't sure.
It's a fight for freedom for the human race.
Yeah.
Especially because you have the last city.
Yeah. I didn't think about the last city, but yeah. Now,
where you got to fight
I will say the
Fallen,
the lore,
the Vex.
The lore to the game is a lot better than what they present it as. Like, I mean, you do a bunch of stuff in the game and stuff, but
Destiny 2 did a lot to salvage.
Yeah, from what it started
and build
off with.
What Destiny 1 was, or lack of
if you actually go in and read the lore books that are in the game, like you go click and learn more about the lore behind a specific gun, like the last word.
Yeah.
The story behind the gun is really cool. Too bad they don't share that with you. You just get the gun for doing a mission. But it's pretty cool. And, yeah, I mean, I didn't think about Destiny, but, yeah, you are the last city fighting off it's not the Covenant. That's not
the Fallen.
The Fallen.
The Vex.
The Cabal.
The Cabal.
Yeah.
And then who's the space guys from the moon?
The Hive.
The Hive.
Yeah.
Those you got to fight 4 different factions.
Yep.
Big turtle guys, scary zombie dudes, robots. Beep bop boop. And then super aliens.
And then I haven't seen what all the last final shape. I haven't seen all that one yet. My cousin that I was talking about in the other episode, when we were talking, he said it's pretty good. They actually have a 12-person kind of like raid thing that you can do now. It's not matchmaking, so you got to have 12 people.
Oh my god!
So, wow, we would never be able to do that.
No, it's an act of Congress getting me, you, and Hayden online at the same time these days.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't think about Destiny. Destiny would be a good game for this. Why did you choose it though? I mean, just besides
it's the ultimate fight for freedom, fight for the freedom of the human race.
Okay,
against aliens and Russia, because you're in Russia.
I didn't think about that too. Yeah.
Well, yeah, isn't that where Destiny 2?
Yeah, because you're at the Cosmodrome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the story of Destiny is really cool.
Yeah, I agree. It got very repetitive in the gameplay.
I like the lore behind it, Earth, and then the thing called the Traveler shows up, and then all of a sudden, the human life expectancy triples. We basically enter into the golden age of humanity. Explore and colonize planets, bases.
I would be down to watch any version of a Destiny show, whether it be animated, and when I say animated, I mean like an adult animation.
Yeah.
Live
action would probably be.
Live action. They had some live action commercials that were really good.
The commercials were really good. The game for the first Destiny game did not live up to, where they're gonna go, they see all the Hive coming at them.
Yeah.
And it's like, hang on, let's play music. It's like, play something classical. And then it's Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
It's like, and they're just running through the Titan jumps in the air, just punches the ground, blows this huge crater and kills them all. And they're all like, nice.
It would be really cool as long as they didn't go the Halo route where you had to focus on them outside of the suit all the time.
Yeah, I don't care I want to see cool armor. I want to see cool moves. I want to see aliens getting blown apart.
Exactly.
I want to see Vex getting picked up, ripped in half by a Titan.
I mean, I don't mind them in Destiny taking their helmets off and talking, but you got to be in the suits doing stuff. So, as long as they didn't go the Halo route, it would make a great
They'll go the Halo route.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, no, of course they would. But my second to last is Dynasty Warriors. Have you ever played that?
I had it. Remember, in some game magazines, you get a demo CD, and there'd be 7 games on there.
Yeah.
And all these games you never heard of, you were not going to play. They were just what is this? But Dynasty Warriors 8 or something was on there, and I'm just running, and you could there were time limited demos.
Yeah.
But if you could get as far as you could, it wasn't only to an area and you had 15 minutes in it. It was you could do as much as you possibly could in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So like we're running around like bow staffing the crap out of people, and I'm just like, this game is wild.
I had one or two of the Dynasty games. I can't remember what numbers they were, but I had one or two of the games, and it's fun just because there's a narrative, and then basically they just drop you as a general into this army that's fighting another army, and you just go out and you fight them to, like, it'll tell you, like, in the bottom, like, oh, they need help over here because they're losing ground. Well, you get on your horse and you run over there. You fight like that wave of people coming in, and they're like general that's leading them. They're like, oh, you need help over here, so you have to run down to this other spot,
Fight them over there,
fight them to where they get them back across the bridge, keep them away. So I mean, it was a fight, army against army, and it's a lot of fun. And I thought it fit this narrative of freedom. Freedom. They're coming after your castle, and you got to defend it, or you got to go get their castle.
Before they took our gerbs.
But I love those games because you were just basically just a warrior that would take out 20 soldiers at a time.
You just you were like Jet Li, Bruce Lee on steroids.
Yeah. But it was a lot of fun because you would fight all them, and then like their general would come in, and you have to fight him in the middle of all of it, and then you'd be fighting their soldiers. But then, like, their general would come in, and when you would fight, they would hit, and, like, your weapons would, like, clash. And you'd have, like, a small cinematic for a second. And then they, separate, and you keep fighting. And you'd be fighting their soldiers again, and y'all hit and clash. Another little cinematic, and you separate. It was a lot of fun. I mean, because there was no real story other than defend this castle or take this castle kind of thing.
Just fight.
But, you could see,
fight more. You
could see on the map, like, the red and the blue, like, going left and right. Kind of like Battlefield.
Yeah.
But it was just, on foot soldiers.
I didn't think about that game.
So what's your next one?
Assassin's Creed 3.
Assassin's Creed, yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, I thought it was really cool that
aren't there also missions where, like, you have to, like, destroy, like, British?
Yeah. You had to go in, and one of the missions was dumping the tea in the harbor. You had to go
Boston Tea Party.
You had to go there and basically defend the guys that were dumping the tea. You had to fight off, the soldiers that were on the boats that were trying to invade while they're trying to push stuff into the harbor. So it was a lot of fun. And then you had the cannons going off, and you have to move from like bunker to bunker, getting closer so you can take out the cannons so that your soldiers can get closer to their soldiers. That was a fight for freedom.
That game, it took a while to get into it.
Yeah.
It was because it was like 8 hours of prologue before you finally got into the game.
And then it was a little different because as opposed to being like ancient cities where you're going in, you would have to travel through the forest and stuff to like a town. So it wasn't quite as populated as the other, but it was a bigger scale.
Yeah, because there's like you're in like New York, Boston,
right,
Philadelphia, and then it's like Lexington and Concord or something.
Yeah, I mean
you're all over the place.
It was a big scale game. It just wasn't as populated as the cities in the originals. That's why I think it got a little less credibility because it did feel more sparse and a lot more downtime kind of feel to it. I mean, you would come across like carriages of men, kind of like in The Patriot, where you'd be the ghost in the middle of the woods, which was kind of fun to be.
And just be like, you guys don't even have a chance.
I'm Mel Gibson. What are you talking about?
You're all going to die.
Going with your hatchet.
I'm going to do
blade.
Scary words.
But, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that. That was your number one?
Yeah.
Well, my number one.
Today?
Oh, hold on, wait. It's one of these.
This is breaking
Helldivers.
Super Earth.
I knew it was going to be Helldivers. Democracy.
Super Earth, our home. Prove to yourself that you have the strength and the courage to be free.
Join the Helldivers.
For democracy.
For democracy!
For democracy! Yelling.
This game makes you feel like you were just out there serving the world, serving the universe, a grand
I'm serving a
justice.
fake government with more, like, enthusiasm than my actual.
Well, just like doing the missions and stuff. You'll be out there, and you can just like set off a nuke in the background and salute. You just have the cinematic in the background.
This game is just nonsense.
It is. Or you're fighting off bugs and robots. But it's just so much like the propaganda. Like I mean, it's all like satirical.
It's like Starship Troopers.
It is. It's like just like it because you'll have the propaganda playing in the background when you go to these little settlements that you have to defend from the bugs. There's one where like they had like the something in news network, but they're basically spreading lies. You know, they say, oh, they're spreading lies on the, you know, these are traitors. So you got to disrupt their signal because
Get out of here, fake news.
For you got to disrupt the signal for plot, you know, whatever.
There's a plot.
Yeah, whatever. But I mean, it was just so much fun, and it is where you're fighting for freedom because different sectors of space. As you're playing, like the community has to work together because the bugs and the automatons are on both sides, moving closer to Super Earth or back, depending on how much you work together and defend.
How's everyone doing then?
Well, because they've had trouble like with new content and stuff. Not well. We're losing a lot of players and causes
A lot of territory.
makes it hard to defend territory when you lose half your army because they decide not to show up.
I think basically what's going to happen is they're going to. If I were them, I would do an ad like Super Earth is now in danger. Like everyone needs to come back and defend the planet now. Because it hasn't happened, I'm guessing, in the game.
They haven't gotten to Super Earth yet. They're getting closer, but they haven't gotten there yet because people were still fighting for freedom and democracy.
Like you.
Yes, but
I won't play it.
Well, yeah, because you won't play on Steam. But if they would add it to Xbox, I guarantee.
If they played it, if it was on Xbox, I'd play it. Yeah.
If it was on Xbox, I mean, that alone would double the numbers because right now it's on PlayStation and Steam, and that's it. If you add it to Xbox, there's a whole nother console of people that can play. Mm-hmm. Plus the people that are, on cross console can play together.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm not as affluent or well off as you are, Mister. I can play on Steam or PlayStation.
You are.
5.
You're just more finicky.
That's why I have money. Because I don't like spending it.
I got my Christmas money, and that's when I bought it back in February.
Nice.
But I mean, it's a lot of fun to play. Like I said, because of the propaganda stuff that it just puts in there, satirical in the game, it makes you feel like you're fighting for freedom. The music in it.
Righteous freedom.
I mean, the music that I played for the little goofy part there, I mean, that's playing the entire time. That or some version of it, making you feel like you're just fighting for the right of the people, of the world, of the universe.
Super Earth.
Yes.
Down with... What do we do with the bugs? Kill them all!
It does. It makes you feel like you're fighting for the world.
Yeah.
Fighting for protect people.
America.
Yeah.
Super Earth. In a world.
But yeah, that's my my top 10 fighting for freedom games.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. So, have you watched anything? I know we've already talked about Elden Ring in the last episode.
Yeah, we talked about Elden Ring.
Have you watched anything recently?
Well, I did want to say I saw some while I was going to the bathroom. There were some guys talking about Elden Ring where people were complaining that it's $40 for the DLC, or it's like $49. Like it's the price of a new game.
Yeah,
which I mean it pretty much is its own game.
I mean, Helldivers was $40, and Shadow of the Earth Tree is much more in depth.
Yes,
just saying.
And then some like the new Star Wars game that's coming out.
Oh, yeah,
it's like let's say it's $60 for the game.
Yeah.
Or you could pay $99.99, $100.
Yeah.
For the bonus
and get the one
content.
extra mission.
You get one extra mission.
Yeah.
And like a character skin.
Yeah.
That was it. And you could play 3 days early, which is bull because it's basically when the game already releases for another.
Yeah, it comes out on Steam.
Yeah.
But you could play on PlayStation and Xbox 3 days early, just like Steam plays.
Yeah.
For no extra charge.
And it's like, well, that's why everyone's like, or all the developers are mad at FromSoft because they basically just were like, hey, yeah, it's $40, but you are going to get your money's worth.
Right.
I got my money's worth out of that game. I haven't even beat it yet. I still got to play and fight, but definitely. What have I watched? Getting more caught up on House of the Dragon. New episode comes out tonight. This is episode 4.
Yes. It's been okay. I've watched them too, but I feel like the last episode kind of was a letdown at the end.
I'm trying to remember what happened
Well,
last time.
remember she goes and meets the queen. And
Oh, yeah.
I was like, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I feel like, well, now, if this is Game of Thrones style,
Yeah.
you get, intro, you get like, ooh, and you, and then now it's going to be like, all right, now we can pick it up. And then it'll probably go, because I don't know if they're doing a season 3. I don't think they are. I think this is it, right?
I think it just depends on how well the season does.
Or they're going to do a different spin-offs or of some other story.
Well, I mean, I don't think the war with the Targaryen stuff will be finished in this season because it's only going to be 7 or 8 episodes.
Yeah, so already had. So this is when they got to pick up the pace.
Yeah, I mean, either they got to really pick it up or there'll have to be another season as long as it's good.
A lot of Lord of the Rings channels are bashing the crap out of the trailer for the new season of Rings of Power
Oh yeah.
because it's just nonsense.
Well, all of it is.
It is stupid nonsense. And there's like one channel that like they're like all about like anything Lord of the Rings. It's just like they defend Rings of Power. And then I watched and I'm like, you're not convincing me. Because this is garbage. This show sucks. This is the most expensive flop ever of a TV show. And there's like other channels that like they just light up that show. And I'm like, yeah, you tell them. Because, I mean, the showrunners, they should be dragged in the street and flogged. But I digress. The Boys, new episode came out for season 4.
Did you watch it so far?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. Homelander's just an idiot.
His reaction.
He was like,
His reaction when
he got the hot too.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. When he gets sprayed with the breast
with titty milk.
his reaction was priceless. He was just like so mad, and all of a sudden, and he's like he just didn't know what to do. Like he was so excited,
Disarmed. He was done.
He was like, what happened?
That's the greatest day of my life. I love being me.
But he was happy. He was happy and shocked at the same
I like how
time.
he tries to give like the speech to like the world leader people.
Yeah.
You know, like the seedy underground of politics. And they just start lighting him up with questions. And he's just like, that's a great point you bring up.
I was waiting for him just to kill everyone.
I was like, he's just going to laser beam everybody because he's just like, that.
And then
Newman,
Yui to be stuck in the thing.
Oh my God.
That was horrible.
Oh my God. Like just when you think the show just can't get grosser,
Oh, yeah.
they come at you and you're just like, get ready.
Let's get awful swampy.
It's like we've already had like flying like superhero goats.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy watching the show, but sometimes they take it a little far.
They're just like, like, okay, all right, yeah, all right. That person got picked up by a superhero goat and they're getting ripped apart. Blood and entrails everywhere.
I've been watching also the Acolyte show on Disney Plus for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that complain about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of complaining about that show.
I mean, I've enjoyed it. I like what they're doing. To each their own, but they do make it very interesting for like the early days, where like basically the guy that's playing the Acolyte, he's kind of hinting at the development of the rule of 2 for the Sith, because before that they were just because in Star Wars canon originally there was just tons of Sith that.
You had the Jedi, and then they split, like they had the Great Jedi Schism.
Yeah.
And like they went to the dark side, and they became the Sith.
Right.
It was just the mirror image of the Jedi Order.
Well, at this point,
But
all
because
that's still myth.
Because they're all evil. They were killing each other and fighting for power all the damn time. So Darth Bane instituted the rule of 2.
Well, and that's where this one is kind of like all that's already happened, and he's wanting to reinstitute and like bring it back. During the High Republic kind of era.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, he's basically trying to get an apprentice. And that's where the twins that are good and bad kind of come into play. Mm-hmm. But they introduced the Cortosis armor or metal, which people were like, oh, well, you can't just be headbutting lightsabers and stuff. Well, the Cortosis armor
is resistant to lightsabers.
Well, yeah, that, and I had to research. But basically, it shorts out the lightsaber if you touch it with it. So, like, when these guys were going to swing and hit him, he would just headbutt the hilt,
blade.
And it would short it out, which I thought was really cool.
And they're like, because
at first I was like, that's so stupid. What's happening? And then when they explained it, And I looked up and researched. I was like, oh, well, that makes perfect sense. So it's pretty cool. I mean, now the one dumb thing they have done is they've made a lightsaber whip. This one girl that's like the leader of the Jedi at the moment. She has like a purple whip, like it's a lightsaber, but then she could like flip it and it whips out, and she cut a flying bug thing in half, which I don't know how I feel about that. Like we don't need lightsaber whips.
It was
dual blade is enough.
Yeah, dual blade was enough. I mean, dual blade was cool.
Yeah,
and then we had the stupid crossguard crap from Kylo Ren, and everyone's kind of like, nah.
And now the main bad guy so far, there was one scene where, spoiler if you haven't seen it yet, he's fighting, and then he basically like takes it apart, and he has like almost like a knife, and his blade gets shorter, like his big blade, and then he has like a little knife that he's still blocking with one, and it stabs her 3 times with the knife size, and then puts it back together into a full sword, which I thought that was kind of cool.
That was pretty cool.
A lot of people were like, "Oh, that defeats the purpose. If they could have done that back then, they could have been doing it all the
That's
time."
like Arya Stark doing the knife drop.
Yeah.
And just go, and it's like, that. All right.
Basically, at this point, this guy's fighting a Padawan that's just decided to. I don't know why she thought she was going to fight a Sith by herself, but
Hubris.
basically, she jumps in there and he's blocking, and she goes to swing, and he just like pulls out the little thing and stabs her 3 times. And you're seeing her back with him in front, so all you see is 3 little holes of like the lightsaber pop through, and then she just falls. It was pretty cool. I'm just saying. I've enjoyed the show. To me, it's one of the better Star Wars shows because, like, the Book of Boba Fett was okay at some points and then just dumb at others. I mean, to me, it's not as good as The Mandalorian or Andor, but it's still pretty good. Or Kenobi.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I enjoyed those other 3 a lot, and I think this one's okay. I mean, it's not bad, and it's nowhere near like people are complaining that it's woke and all this. I don't get that vibe. I mean, I feel like they're telling a very interesting story, and they tell a story that is different from, I guess, the natural canon of like all the books and stuff. But it's its own story that merges over with TV stuff, the movies and things like that. Because you have Soul, which is the good guy Jedi, and then I forget the bad guy's actual name, but the bad guy, he's like, there's like any bad guy would, just like Plagueis did to Anakin. He's like, well, telling the girl that's the good twin, telling her like, well, all the Sith and the Jedi are is perspective on what side you're on, which that's exactly what Plagueis did to Anakin. And people are like,
Sidious.
Sidious. That's exactly what he did. But people are like, oh, well, you can't say there's 2 sides. It's just open to interpretation. That's kind of how they explained it.
Yeah.
That's how you convince someone to go to the dark side. It's a matter of perspective. So people are complaining.
Or what do you want to also start taking like Mach 4 tests, like for the Machiavellianism?
Well, actually, they do have a test that the Jedi make the 2 twins take, and one girl takes the test and lies. One girl takes it and tells the truth, and that's kind of where it diverges from the very first episode, because one wants to be a Jedi and one wants to stay with the what essentially would be like the Night Sisters, like the early version of them or something like that. So it's interesting. It's interesting because it forms along with Ahsoka, where like you can see where the Night Sisters and that could have come from these, years and years later. So it's really interesting, really good. I've enjoyed it. So
I might check it out.
You should. I mean, it's like I said, it's Star Wars, but it's basically it's a whole story that has no connection other than a few
It's
little.
like the Skywalker saga.
Well, I mean, it's got a few connections here and there to like normal canon, but because it's so far in the past, you don't have to worry. It's going to affect the way you see Luke Skywalker. It doesn't have that kind of long lasting effects. But there's that, and then I've also watched Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. They made a new Beverly Hills Cop movie on Netflix.
Oh God,
it's got a 6 out of 10 on IMDb. I think it deserves at least a 7. It's really funny. basically the synopsis is after his daughter's life is threatened, wisecracking detective Axel Foley teams up with a new partner and some old pals to turn up the heat on a conspiracy.
In Beverly Hills.
Yeah, he has to go back to Beverly Hills. He's being a cop in New York, and he has to go back to Beverly Hills.
Well, he's in New York. He was in Detroit for like the first 3 movies.
Right. But he has to go. I want to say he's in New York in the very beginning of this movie, but then he has to go back to Beverly Hills where his daughter is there. And of course, there's drama between them because he wasn't a good enough father. His wife left him and took the daughter back to Beverly Hills. Mm-hmm. So there's that whole drama. But I feel like he does a very good return to this character, being the same. Like the very first scene when he comes back to Beverly Hills, there's these guys that are inside this lawyer's apartment or whatever, just rummaging through stuff, going through, trying to find what they want. He just walks in and he's like, they're like, hey, who are you? And he's like, what? Hey, what do you mean? Who am I? Who are you? And he's like, did he send you up here? Who sent me up here? Beck. Yeah, Beck sent me up here. He's like, yeah, Beck sent me.
He just, it's just us lying. It's like, yeah, of course he did. What are you, stupid?
And then while they're like, oh, okay. So they start rummaging through all of them start rummaging through. He's trying to just find some information. The guy Beck comes up there and goes, who are you? You said you were with him. And he's like, oh. He takes a fire extinguisher, sprays him, hits one in the face, and runs off. He just does a good job going back to his character. And the other characters that were in the other movies are all there as well in different roles. But it's really funny. I've enjoyed it so far. I haven't got to see the ending because every time I try to watch it, something comes up and I don't get to finish it.
Been trying to finish this.
But it's a good movie. It's definitely worth the watch. Like I said, it's got a 6 out of 10 on IMDb. I think it should be at least a 7 to a 7.5. From what I've seen so far, I've really enjoyed. So,
I might check that one out because I like the first 2. I didn't like the third one.
I don't know if I've seen the third one.
The first one's still, I think, my favorite. The third one's just so funny.
Do you have any news?
No, not really.
Okay.
Aside because we talked about the Dr. Disrespect thing. That was like the biggest gaming news that happened.
I do have a little bit of news here. Pixar has announced its next few movies that they're working on. It'll either be in theaters or on Disney Plus, but they have Moana 2, which is coming out November 27th of this year, which my kids really love Moana. They're going to have Mufasa, the Lion King. So Mufasa's story before the Lion King. It comes out December 20th. They're going to have a Snow White live-action remake, which that's had some drama with the stuff going on with the actor or the actress, wanting to tell her story. That Snow White was not a princess that needed a prince. She said all that in an interview.
She was an independent woman who didn't need no man.
So that's had its drama about it, but
it's like just tell the story like it's supposed to be told. Damn it.
We'll see how that goes. There's something called Elio, which I don't know what that's going to be, but it comes out June 13th next year. You got Tron Ares, which is the next installment of Tron. What's the main bad guy?
I don't know. I never saw the Tron movies.
Oh, okay. The guy that played him in the most recent one.
Was it Jeff Bridges who played him?
Yes, he's actually going to be back in this movie in some capacity. Then you got Zootopia 2, which will come out November 26th next year. There's going to be a Moana live-action movie that they're coming out with. It's supposed to start filming next year. It'll come out in July of 2026. You got Frozen 3 in 2026 and Toy Story 5 in 2026.
Oh, my God.
So
Toy Story 5?
Yes.
Jesus.
Marvel also has a series called Agatha All Along, which Agatha Harkness is the one from the WandaVision.
Yeah.
And it says it's going to be a genuine horror, apparently. So she's dealing with all the horror elements that are in Marvel. And it's actually going to be like based on scary stuff and not just some kind of goofy, because her character was kind of goofy in the series, like as far as personality. So supposedly the Marvel Studios head of TV and streaming, Brad Winderbaum, called it really scary. So whether it's actually scary or he just thinks it's scary, we'll see. But I'm interested to see it, to see that version or that side of the Marvel Universe. Stranger Things Season 5 it comes out, I want to say it's supposed to be later this year, I think.
Yeah.
And the Maya Hawke, which plays, what's her name? Robin. She said basically it's going to be like 8 movies, like because each episode's like an hour and a half long. So it'll be 8 episodes, but it'll be. She said it's basically like 8 different movies.
Nice.
So we'll see how
Good
that one
content
goes.
for everybody.
And then Netflix has a Terminator Zero, which is coming out. Which is basically it's going to be an animated, like anime style Terminator.
That'd be cool.
And Rosario Dawson is also, and then Timothy Oliphant will be some of the voice cast for it. So I'm interested to see that because
I'd be more interested in that than anything.
I saw a little bit of like the anime like from a commercial, and it looked pretty cool. I mean, it's like futuristic Terminator.
Nice.
Not like Arnold coming back, but it's based in the future. So.
All right.
Oh, sorry. And then also Scarlett Johansson confirmed she will star in the new Jurassic World movie.
They're doing another one?
They're doing another set of 3 movies, and I don't think it's a continuation. I want to say it's almost like a reboot kind of thing, and she's going to be the star of this next 3 series. So that's all I got.
What does that say? Jurassic?
It just the new Jurassic World movie, but supposedly it's like another set of 3 movies that aren't directly tied to the most recent 3.
All right.
So
Looking out for all it's worth, aren't they?
We'll see how that goes. I did see another thing where she said that she's been wanting to be in a Jurassic World movie or Jurassic Park movie since she was little, and she said that she told him that she doesn't care if she dies in the first 10 minutes. She just wants to be in one of them. But supposedly she'll be like one of the stars of the next 3 movies that they put out. So
All right.
that's all I got.
I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Another episode. Gone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. We'll see you later.
Bueller.
End it.
Bueller.
Done.